guys, welcome to my channel. So before we get started, make sure to hit the like button, also subscribe to my channel. In this video, we will talk about the top 10 most expensive pets to keep. So make sure to watch the full video. It's no secret that pets are one of the most expensive things you can have. Owning a pet is like having a child that you can't directly speak to, but you still love them with all your heart. Even popular pets like dogs and cats can add up due to all the supplies and medical care. Yet, if you're looking for a rare exotic pet, then the purchase price alone will be enough to break your bank. 1. Thoroughbred horse, $16 million. Most kids have dreamed of having their very own pony, but having a thoroughbred racing horse is an entirely different story. Like most horses, their care is not easy either. They need to be 15 to 20 pounds of clean grass every day, and thinking about cleaning up after them is already exhausting enough. So, caring for one of these active horses can feel like a full-time job. A quality thoroughbred often costs between $100,000 and $300,000, however. One particular horse named Green Monkey broke the record for a most expensive pet. He was sold for $16 million because he was a legend. During his first race, he ran an eighth of a mile in only 9.8 seconds. Therefore, the price for these horses can vary based on skill level. 2. Tibetan Mastiff, $1,500,000. Tibetan Mastiffs are one of the largest dog breeds in the world, and they're often mistaken for fluffy bears. They were first bred as guard dogs, and they were capable of protecting sheep from any danger that approached, including wolves, leopards, and bears. Their thick coats of fur make them tolerant to even the coldest temperatures. Most of the time, these dogs can be purchased for only a couple $1,000s, but it's still very difficult to find a true-blooded Tibetan Mastiff. In 2011, the most expensive dog was sold for $1.5 million. He was an 11-month-old Tibetan Mastiff named Big Splash, who was at an auction in China. 3. Clone Dog, $155,000. If you thought regular dogs were expensive, think again. Cloning your dog is often more expensive than buying any purebred puppy. The reason some people choose this route is because they just can't let their dog go. When their dog passes away, they want to have a dog that's nearly identical. Cloning a dog typically costs between $50,000 and $100,000. That alone might sound like too much, but many families have spent as much as possible just to have their beloved dog back. One couple spent $155,000 to clone their dog named Sir Lancelot. Now they have his clone, who is named Sir Lancelot Encore. 4. White Lion Cub, $140,000. As you can imagine, any type of big cat will likely require a permit to own, and in many areas, it could be illegal. So make sure you look over the laws before getting your heart set on a rare lion cub. These cubs appear white due to a color mutation that was first spotted in 1938. That lighter coloring alone is what makes them so desirable. They come in regular lion litters, so finding one is incredibly difficult. Since these cubs are so rare, they will often cost around $140,000 to buy. However, that price is only the beginning of how much a white lion cub will cost you. They'll need at least several pounds of meat a day, along with a suitable enclosure. So, unless you're incredibly wealthy with tons of experience caring for wild animals, you shouldn't get tempted by the cute faces of these little lions. 5. Stag Beetle, $89,000. Most people don't want any bugs in their house, so they especially wouldn't pay thousands of dollars to have one in their home. These massive beetles are considered a prized possession to many, so bug enthusiasts will pay high prices just to own one. Despite having massive pinchers, they primarily only eat leaves. Unfortunately, these beetles usually only live 1 to 2 years, but they've been reported to live up to 7 years in some instances. While the price to own one is generally very reasonable, a Japanese breeder once stole this bug for around $89,000. So if you see a large bug in your home, don't squish it if it's a stag beetle. 6. Savannah Cat, $20,000. The Savannah cat is not your typical house cat. They're actually an African serval bred with a regular house cat. Since they're domesticated animals bred with a wild animal, the laws can greatly vary. However, they are not dangerous in any way, and they're actually considered a desirable pet because they have the loyalty of a dog, but the independence of a cat. These cats usually cost anywhere from $12,000 to $20,000, with females being more expensive than males. They're known as the largest and most expensive domesticated cat breed. Their lifestyles are similar to those of a regular cat. So you can expect to spend anywhere from $340 to $900 a year to care for a Savannah cat. Although, you might be better off just adopting a cat from your local animal shelter, since they're so similar. 7. Palm Cockatoo, $16,000. Also known as the Goliath Cockatoo, these massive birds are distinguished by the feather mohawk feature on the top of their heads. They might not be brightly colored like the hyacinth macaw, but they still have a regal appearance. They can be fun, intelligent birds to have around, but they require lots of attention. They might scream or act aggressively if they're ignored for too long. The average life expectancy for these birds is 40 to 60 years, but they could even reach 80 to 90 years. $16,000 is a fairly average price for this species because they're difficult to breed and close to becoming an endangered species. So, you will most likely need to obtain a permit to own one. In addition to the price of the bird, you can expect to spend at least $1,000 a year to care for them. 8. Samoyed, $14,000. The Samoyed is one of the most beloved dog breeds in the world. Most people cannot resist the white cloud-like coat of these dogs. Not only are these dogs in high demand, but they are also expensive dogs for responsible breeders to breed and care for. They're very social and adventurous canines, which appeals to many dog lovers. While these puppies have been known to only be sold for a couple $1,000s, they have been reported to cost up to $14,000 in the past. If a breeder is selling them for a cheaper price, be wary of where they're coming from. Puppy mills will often breed popular dog breeds like Samoyeds repeatedly in inhumane conditions, so be careful. A reputable breeder will be very knowledgeable about the breed and will be happy to show you the puppy's parents and the breeding location. 9. Hyacinth Macaw, $14,000. Elegant birds like the hyacinth macaw are often beloved for their beautiful color patterns. Yet, it's important to remember that birds are much more difficult to care for than they look. They can often reach 40 inches tall and have a wingspan of 60 inches. They are gentle, intelligent birds, but even though they can be loud, they're not the best at talking. They have been known to live for 50 years, so getting one is a lifelong commitment. The price for these birds often varies between $6,500 and $14,000. Their enclosure will cost at least $2,000, and it should give them plenty of space to fly. You can also expect to spend around $60 a month on food, including nuts, berries, and seeds. 10. Capuchin Monkey, $8,500. After seeing capuchin monkeys on the big screen for shows like Friends and movies, like Night at the Museum, it's difficult not to want one of your own. They have such lovable personalities that make them almost seem human-like. However, in real life, they can have aggressive behaviors, so they're only recommended for expert caretakers. Buying a capuchin usually ranges anywhere from $3,500 to $8,500. On top of that, setting up a proper enclosure starts at $650 to $3,500, which means including plenty of things for your monkey to climb on. You can also expect to spend at least $25 a week on food, which will primarily include fruit and insects. They usually live between 15 and 25 years, so you should expect to have them long term. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. Also subscribe to our channel before you go. Thank you for watching.